Hi guys, this is Michael from the Board Games Chronicle. Today I have another exciting material for you. Today we'll be talking about the global war, World War II, worldwide 1939-1945. This is the game from Ben Madison, published by White Dog Games. I already created an overview of this game and you will have the link in the description and also here during the video. And today I would like to do example of play. This is not a shortest game, so I believe we will have two materials. One of them will be focusing on the initial turns of the game, and the other on some very interesting aspects of how the Operation Barbarossa and Pearl Harbor are introduced. In essence, just a reminder, couple of words. Global War is a solitary game by Ben Madison, kind of a state of siege type with some twist. I will explain in a moment. It plays in about 3 hours if you know rules. Initially, you need to get familiar with some procedures, with some scripts, with simply the sequence of play. And in essence, depicts the whole World War II conflict on this small map in about 3 hours, very thoroughly and with a very, let's say, challenging opponent. I can tell you it's really hard to win here. There are various paths to victory, various things you can do, and it's enormously replayable. Yeah, so I really like this game. Just a note or two notes. I already created similar series of video for another of my favorite Ben Madison games, The Mission. So I really encourage you to go and check. Also the link in the description. And we will be doing this video in teach and play, let's say, mode. What does it mean? First of all, we will not go through all the rules, theoretically. We will go only through the basics which are needed to start the play. As for the rule book, you can see that there are some rules, like 20 pages, not overly much, but this is mainly text. So instead of going through the rules, I quickly introduce you to the game, to the basic concept, and of course to the map, because that's something which will be driving the game. And then we'll start going through the sequence of play, and we'll go in details through the various, actions and through the various, procedures. My goal for today will be to go through the first 3 turns. Let me move the box already. And in the second session, we'll go through another 2 turns. Would I have time to go through the whole game, which is 27 games? I'm not sure. The material might be slightly too long and too tedious, but yeah, if I have energy and there is a need from the audience, I will definitely would love to do it, because this game is worth it for sure, I can tell you. Okay, so let us talk a bit about the main game concepts, slightly about mechanics, about the map, about the sequence of play. Not for too long, like 10 minutes, telegraphic, going through the rules. If you would like to jump immediately into the gameplay example, you will be able to navigate also in the description. You have the links to the particular minutes of the video, and you can jump already to turn 1, turn 2, turn 3. Yeah, so if you would like to see some particular things which were happening later on. But for those who would like to hear a bit about the rules and the game setup, let me do it. So guys, what you have in front of you is the map of the whole world, yeah, with all the continents, and on this you have some interesting areas marked, which will be driving the game. The key concept of the global war as a state of siege game are 6 fronts: A, B, C, D, E, F. Western Front, Eastern Front, Mediterranean Front, China Theater, South Asia Theater, South Pacific Theater. Those areas were so large in comparison to those areas that although in the game they are called fronts, they are in essence theaters. Yeah, they are so big. There are 6 theaters, and instead of each, if you remember, for example, the mission, it also had 6 pubs, and they were all converging in one place. Yeah. For example, another games of Ben Macinek, Nubia, and a couple of them had it done that way. Here you don't see this central point to which the paths of enemies are converging, but enough to say that each of those fronts is trying to break through and do the so-called blitz. The blitz means that the allies are severely hit by Axis and are losing morale. So on all those 6 fronts, the Axis will be attacking, and if they gain enough advantage, they will hit our morale. And if they hit our morale, we do a morale check. You might probably assume that the more they hit us, the more possible the morale check to be negative for us and lose the game, lose the war, lose the faith in the victory. So this is the basic concept of the game. The axis, the game mechanics are attacking on all 6 fronts, A, B, C, D, E, F. Of course, not from the beginning. Later on, all of them will be active, but at the beginning, only a couple, only 2. But then later on, you will need to manage things across all of them, which will not be so easy. Yeah, so we have those 6 fronts, and on those 6 fronts, we will be deploying the enemy armies. We have those armies here, A, B, C, D, E, F, and those armies will be of various strength. The numbers which you can see here or here are actually the numbers of the strength of the army, and usually in order to defeat the army you will be rolling 1d6 and you will have to roll more than this. At the beginning of the game, it's Western Front which is active and will be attacked by the Germans, and there's ongoing war in China, of course, for many years already. Let us stay with the main map for a moment longer. What we have, except for the fronts, where the main Axis armies will be attacking, mainly Germany, Italy, and Japan, but also some minor like Romania and Hungary. We have also areas like here, here, where a minor armies or distractions can be, and they will be impacting our attacks on the front. For example, if we would have an enemy Italy army in East Africa, it will mean that on front C here and on front E here, our die roll will have -1, and it will be much harder to defeat the enemy. On the map, we see also some round circle spaces. These are the convoy tracks, and these are the ways to actually gain money to fuel and fund the war. There are some symbols here which we'll be describing in more details when we go through this. It's enough to say that there will be convoys, there will be raiders, and there will be U-boats, and there will be fight ongoing between both sides to ship as many cargo as possible to the mainly UK to fuel the war. We'll have a policy track for the USSR. At the beginning, we are neutral. Of course, by attacking Poland, it's hard to say that they were neutral, but from the Western Alliance point of view, they were neutral. You would have also the Japan fleet, which comes into action only once the Pearl Harbor started, and it's its own game within the game. You have some interesting tweaks to the game, like Esperance and Marines who will be helping in the Pacific War. You have Burma Road here. You have the Commandos, which will be impacting the gameplay. The Belgian Congo and the South Africa can go awry and go against the allies. Actually, allies in this game are called United Nations, because United Nations were actually fighting the Axis against their onslaught. There are some units which can sympathize with one or the other side, This will be Finland. This will be Xinjiang. Yeah. So depending on the event, they can be pro-USSR or they can be pro-Japanese. And if they are pro-Japanese, you need to roll on them to defeat them in order not to inflict minuses on this. Here is the US and the Lend-Lease. Here are the leaders which are available and can do some daring actions. I believe that's enough to say for now for the main map. Other than that, what we have a turn track, yeah, calendar. It has 27 turns, and you can see this is fall 1939, early 1940, late 1940, and we go through all of them. The first three will have a special green, let's say, turn track markers. Each of them will be telling us what to do, and we'll resolve them once we start the actual play. After those first three, we might encounter Barbarossa and then Pearl Harbor. There are rules for this. Maybe not necessarily there are rules, but after the France falls, yeah, the Barbarossa is next. And then we have a cube with a lot of additional randomly drawn cheats, which will help us, yeah, to go through the game. There will be one more cup which is needed. It will store the US air carriers, yeah, which will be used to fight with the Japanese. Okay, here we have a military event display. Each round will be rolling a die and checking what military event is happening. Here is one of the key elements of the game. Our cities, high morale cities and low morale cities. There is 11 of them. If the Axis manage to penetrate any of the fronts, there is a blitz and one of the cities goes to low morale, you roll a die, and as you may expect, if you roll more than the high morale cities, you have a severe consequences up to the losing the game. Here is the additional tokens. Actually, there are many more tokens which I have stored here. Will not talk about them now, but they will be used also during the gameplay. And we have also the markers track, omnibus markers track, where we have 6 markers. The first 2 of them are not taking part in the game from the start. This is atomic bomb and US naval actions. Because yeah, there is no war with Japan and nobody is investing in atomic bomb yet. There is a Roosevelt who is not yet president of the United States. And if you push Lend-Lease too much before the elections, you really risk him not being chosen, and he can be changed by the Winky. You haven't heard about him, yes? Exactly. That is why, because Roosevelt was the president, and you should not hear about him. There is a US aid to China, so this is a 5, let's say, resources you can use in China. This is pre-war support of US to China. There is cannon meat. This is something, 8 of them, which Russians can use on front B, but also in Xinjiang and Finland, and I believe Caucasus. And there's $8 or $8 million, which you can use on different investments. Actually, those dollars will be fueling all UN actions. In order to attack army, you need to spend 1. In order, for example, to build over the hump, you need to spend 4. In order to build a convoy, you spend 2. In order to have an escorted convoy, you spend another 1. All of this really takes money. And the main idea in the game is to survive the initial onslaught of the Axis, which is not easy, and then with economic warfare go for the victory. That's how it is done. And actually what I said about this economic warfare, it's all very nicely written down in sequence of play. You simply follow each turn of this. At some point in time it's become natural. You go through the cheat drone phase, turn phase, evening telegraph phase when you roll for the random event, when Axis power attacks, when we have economic warfare, when us, United Nations, attacks, we can have a turning the tide sequence, so how to crush the enemies, but we'll not get there yet, yeah, so quickly. In case we are after Pearl Harbor, we have Pacific Naval phase, we have industrial phase, and then turn end phase. So as you can see, this is a very procedural game, scripted, but also giving you a lot of flexibility to play like in a sandbox. Usually, what you have to do is to manage several crises at the same time. I believe this is enough for the initial rules introduction. I really would like to do them more on the fly when we play particular turns and show you exactly how the game flows. So we will pause here for a moment and we'll be back with the actual gameplay in a few minutes. Okay, guys, we shall start. I will start with a turn one and we will thoroughly follow the sequence of play. I might still use the rulebook from time to time for some references. I pretty many times played this game already and was also part of a playtesting group, so I know this game, but still some nuances might be needed to be verified. We start simply with a cheat draw phase, and as I told you, the first three turns we have three cheats, so we need to randomize them and draw one of them. I am not looking at them. Okay, so this will be the first cheat. And yeah, let me leave those two here. So you can see the cheat. This is the symbol of UN. It doesn't have any impact. This is attack on front C. This is 7 attacks on front A. Sorry, France has to fall. This is what Hitler did. And the red color will actually stipulate that if our Stalin did the action on the previous turn, he will be now active again. Sorry for this mess. So yeah, but before this, we should thoroughly follow the sequence of play. And for the start, for this first turn, let's go together through this. So random turn cheat draw. It could be Barbarossa or Pearl Harbor under some circumstances. Then we turn start phase. Place cheat on calendar. That's what we did. Deploy units from the calendar turn box. There are no units. There might be some units. U-boats, Churchill, Sprans. They can be there because they were used, and then there is a cooldown before we can use them again. Then we have play calendar events. Beware Hitler's order on turn 4. This Hitler's orders simply mean that if France falls, we will need to simply start Operation Barbarossa. I will show you later on when we get to the Operation Barbarossa. Play calendar events. Calendar events are written here in red, and in the first turn we don't have, but then we'll have victory at sea, US elections, Hitler's orders, a lot of other victories at sea. Somewhere here we'll have possibility to get the air superiority, A-bomb, British election. So these are the things which will happen, but not in the turn one. So there is nothing like this. Then we have play cheat based events found on turn cheats. On our turn cheat, we don't have any event. There could be some events connected to the Middle East. There could be a Manhattan Project where you can progress development of the A-bomb. One thing which is on this cheat is this R. This is not used in the base game, so we simply do not look at this. We only look at C and 7A. Yeah. So the only things which are important for us is C and 7A. Now we move further with the sequence of the play. We will be rolling on the Evening Telegraph. And how do we roll? We roll a die and add turn number. The Evening Telegraph is here, and we will mark proper military event there. There could be military event, political event, or there could be also commandos. If we roll, I don't know, 12, this is turn number plus the die roll, this will happen in the military area. This will happen in political area, and this will happen in the commandos area. If there is a star, that means that such event can happen multiple times. If there is no star, it's a one-time event. It happens and it will not happen again. So let's roll 6-sided die. We got 7. Oh, that would be interesting. because this is 1, turn 1, plus 6 is 7. We have Wavell and we have Xinjiang. For the beginning of the game, let me show you how we can check it. But later on, as I told you, we'll be doing it in a much quicker way. So first of all, for Xinjiang, which is here, we have if a Xinjiang tile is on the pro-user side, flip it to its pro-Japan side. It will then hurt the war in China with this -1 die roll modifier. So if we would like now to attack here on front D, in order to destroy those armies, we don't have to roll 4 to 6, but 5 to 6. Still, we can fight with the Xinjiang first, and the Xinjiang, in order to defeat them, you need to roll 3, 4, 5, 6, turn it, and then get to the Japanese armies, and then this -1 will not work. And this -1D -1 works only on the actual front. It's not impacting the fight with the Xinjiang. So this is first thing, and the second was Wavell. Wavell is here. So +1 DRM to all attacks against Italian AOI armies. But the tricky thing is that Italy is not at war. At the beginning of the game, the only fronts which are active is front A and front D. Everywhere else we have peace. We have Italy neutral, Japan neutral, yeah. And there's a Berlin here, and Germans are also neutral at this moment. Not neutral, but they are not in a war with Russia, with USSR. Okay. So that was interesting evening telegraph, and then we follow. So roll a die and we did it. Axis power attack phase. Deploy Axis armies. Consult how we will resolve sieges, how we will resolve early war priorities, and partisans. All those things, especially sieges, are from the later part of the game, so we'll not look at this. Early war priorities simply means that if you have attack B on the cheat, on the neutral front B, you simply do it at A, only at the beginning of the game until Barbarossa not erupts. Again, France has to fall first. So what we'll be doing, we'll be deploying armies, we'll be resolving distractions, blitz if they have enough advantage on the front, panzers, but only after Barbarossa, and we'll be checking Burma road status. So let us do all of these things. This token tells us C. Can we deploy on C? No, C is neutral, so we are lucky. We are lucky. The C is moot. It doesn't happen. But then we have 7 attacks on front A, and Western Front assumes that Germany will have to crush Poland, Denmark, Norway, Belgium, Netherlands, and France. So those armies are here. You can see Poland two-sided. Then you have Denmark. Then you have Norway, Netherlands, Belgium, France two-sided. And how do those armies fight? In order for the German attack to be repelled, you need the ammunition and weapons for those units. So you need to probe them. You need to pay them. So those 7 attacks, first of all, will be attacking those units, those countries, before the armies will actually start be deploying to the front A, once the France has fallen. So the first attack will go against Poland. If we do not provide them with weapons, by paying 1, you can see 1 here in the brackets, they will simply automatically fall. Of course, one of the attacks will be already covered, but the fact is that here it automatically succeeds. But if we pay 1 and we want to pay 1, we roll a die. If we roll 1 to 3, the Germans have not managed to win, and we'll need to resolve second attack here. And again, you can provide weapons to Polish, soldiers, and they can fight. So okay, let's roll. Yes, they managed to defeat the first German attack. Okay, second German attack, we again prop it, the unit. The second German attack is also unsuccessful. They are doing pretty good, our Polish guys. Third German attack, let's see how it goes. It's also success. I can tell you guys, I never had such a good strike in this game, but let's try it. Shall we prop them again? Yes, let's prop them again. It's already the fourth attack. They again managed. Now, let me think. We need some money, at least one, for the next turn. You will see there are some events which requires money from the previous turn in order to be played. Okay, I will prop them again. This is the fifth probing. They managed. Sixth. Yes, they managed. And I will now, unfortunately, say, guys, I need this $1, or maybe not. Let's spend 7. What a crazy round. They managed to survive. Okay, that was the most unexpected, but I don't believe we can hold much longer without those money now. So 7 attacks and Polish troops survived. Yeah, that's something incredible. Let me check the die. Oh, see, maybe I will change them. But yeah, seemingly crazy. Okay, so I will do the change of the die just in case something is awry. Guys, should be fine. Oh, those are much better, yeah, for the Germans. So this is the Axis part. Check Burma Road. How do we check the Burma Road? If there are 3 or more armies, the road will be closed, and the 3 or more armies on the front E will deploy panzers, but there is no still fight with the Germans. Here we can resolve any bleeds. There are no bleeds. Okay, so that's all for the Axis powers attack phase. Now we have economic warfare phase. We'll be placing the convoys and we'll be rolling for U-boats. We don't have ASW now, and we will check how much we earn. We also resolve U-boat convoy conflicts. Then we'll be getting presidential bonus, but only from turn, I believe, 5, when Roosevelt is here. We will be able to do allied strategic bombing, but only when we get the planes. We don't have them yet, and they will be here. We will be able to use Churchill. We can use the Stalin, and we can cash Lend-Lease. So, okay, let's see. Let's go. Place convoys. You see, there are all those spaces where I can place 2 convoys. One is French, the other is British. And we will be rolling then. How many die? The number of die of U-boats and raiders. And this table will be showing us we have 2 U-boats. We roll 2 die. We look at the sum and we see where they attack. And if they attack somewhere, we don't simply get the money from this area. But if they focus on one area like this, they actually sunk the particular ship. I don't want to be too greedy. I will not go for 4 and 3 most probably here. 2B, 2A, 2C seems to be very, how to say, probable. 2C is only here. And maybe 2B, let's try 2B. So we try to haul the supplies from the, let's say, Asia rather than from US. Now we roll for the U-boat. We rolled 4. We consulted. We could be probably a little more greedy. This is 3 and 2B. So we go, the raider goes to 3 and the U-boat goes to 2B. So what happens now? Here nothing happens. Here we don't get those 2. Here we get this $2, billions of dollars. Now after the roll, one can see why we haven't spent it here. But yeah, you cannot get everything what you want. So this is economic warfare. Yeah. Now we don't have presidential bonus yet. We don't have strategic bombing. We have Churchill, and we can use Churchill. No, we don't have Churchill. It's still Chamberlain. Sorry, forgot it. Sorry, guys. So if we don't have a Churchill, we'll not be talking about him. He will go into play only after the France falls. It's not 100% correct from the timeline perspective, but it's completely correct from when he will step up to the challenge of defeating or preventing the German victory. Let's say not yet defeating. We can use Stalin, and we can use Stalin for various options. Let me show it to you. 8, 9. And what I like about this is that if they tell you use Stalin, you have always immediately a reference to the rule book. So you don't have to look for this endlessly. Stalin can do one of the 4 things. He can use shock armies. During the attack phase, you will be rolling 2 die instead of 1 and can defeat the enemy. You can, if the front B is active, to create partisan. You can, if front B is active, you can raise the cannon mid by 1. If front B is active, you can use Stalin to move face up Soviet city from the low morale to high morale. But this shock armies doesn't need the front B to be active. So you know what? I will use Stalin. He will be again ready if we draw the cheat with a yellow or a red with a white. So counter-revolutionist, he will not get ready. So we will move him to used. And we will attack Xinjiang. We don't want this minus here. Yeah, we defeated them. We have 5. We choose the higher one and we flip it. And this is free of charge. We don't pay for this. And now we can cash land and lease. So jeeps and trucks, we will cash it first. It has number 1 here, so it has to be first out of those 2. And when we cash it, we get simply $3. That's how it plays. That finishes economic warfare phase. Now we are getting to United Nations attack phase. We can do the ground attacks against Axis armies, potentially here. We can do the Island hopping and Tyrol modifiers. Island hopping will be here, so it's not now yet. Yeah, Panthers and Zieges has to be attacked first. Downfall attacks is when we will be actually trying to collapse the front. It's end of the game, so not now. We can drop A-bombs, also end of the game. We can achieve air superiority, but only in turn 19. We can spend USI to China and Soviet cannon mid, those things. We can attack German surface raiders, and that could be good idea to get rid of Graf Spee. We can reopen the Burma road if there are no 3 or more armies here, but there is no invasion there. We can arrest Gandhi. Yes, Gandhi will be an event, and it can be a very messy event. We can do the Marianas campaign. It's also not now, and launch 1 partisan uprising. This uprising is fun. It's interesting thing because you can buy the partisan, and then in the next turn, you can use them to do the uprising. And the uprising actually adds the die roll modifier. And the die roll modifier is equal to the number of enemy armies on the front. Pretty cool thing. Okay, so from all those attacks, one thing I believe I would like to do, I pay 1 and I will try to sink Graf Spee. I did 4, 5, 6. Yes! It sank. So we remove it from the play. There are some things which we can buy in a moment. I will show you. So we'll not be spending anything more on attacks. Now we have turning the tide. We will be able to place this pink strategy dice under some specific circumstances. This we skip. This is only after Pearl Harbor. And now industrial phase. We can now start building some stuff. You can build partisans and reinforce Malta. I can tell you we should reinforce Malta. There is not yet war with Italy, but that it will be in a moment. And when it will be, I want Malta not to be besieged. If Malta falls, the armies which will be here will be much stronger. Yeah, the German armies. Enough to say for time being. So I spent two. It's a lot, but Malta is not besieged now. We can build convoys, not now, we don't have any available. Escort convoys only later on. Naval production, we could potentially rebuild the destroyed US carriers, not now. Build over the hump, it's very costly, you can build it for 4, and that simply means that the Burma road is permanently open, and the US started their airlift operation to China. We can build Rick's place. It will help with Operation Torch. We can build a bomb only from turn 24, and we have to check for undefeated commandos. They will move morale back. We will only do the Malta in turn 1. Turn and phase allied banking, so we can leave some money for the next turn. We leave $2 million. We cancel military events, so let me put it here. And we do the naval reset, so all those things are coming back. And quit India. No, it's not quitting. End of turn, return to step A. That will finish turn 1. We are extremely lucky with attacks of the Germans here, but believe me, they have many more. And we used a lot of money. So even this will mean that we will not be able to probe the units, and the France will fall. Let's pause here for a moment, and we'll come back with the turn 2. Okay, guys, let us move to the turn 2. We start, as always, with a cheat draw phase. Maybe I will not be showing to you this sequence of play. I will be simply reading this. We have still 2 left, so let me shuffle them, not looking at them, and we draw that one. So this will be an interesting one. Cheat. Okay. So what do? Place the turn cheat on the calendar. Done. Deploy units from calendar box. There are none. Play calendar events. Calendar event is victor at c2, and I believe this is not a good event for us. It says move the Norwegian convoy from the Norway box to available convoy box. The Norwegian guys are actually escaping. So this is a good one. Only once France falls, the French convoy will convert to U-boat. So we might have one turn of some nice haul. So we move the Norwegian convoy from the Norway box to the available convoy box. So we move it here. Then play cheat-based events, and we have a cheat-based event because if you look here, guys, at the cheat, we have a nice UN logo, 3 attacks on front A. This is not playing now. This is white, so we will not be able to, flip the Stalin. And this is a South Africa event, and this is a tricky event. Let me find it. Okie doke. This is South Africa. If a turn cheat has South Africa's flag on it, cheat 1, yeah, exactly. Roll a die. On 6, its racist government pulls South Africa out of the war against Hitler, and it will flip South Africa tile to its neutral side. And it will have simply bad repercussions because it will cut us from the 2B and 2C, if I remember correctly. Oof, 3. So we managed to survive this. So Jan Christian Smuts actually preserves South Africa's alliance with British, and there is no game effect. But you see, there are those small things in this game which really can make it a completely different. Not often, because only 6 will change, but believe me, it will have a long-lasting repercussions. Okay, now We move to the phase C, evening telegraph phase. We roll a die. We add turn number, so 6 plus 2 is 8, and I believe this is exactly the same. Wavell Xinjiang. Xinjiang again rebels, or tries to work with Japan, and we have Wavell, which is not helpful yet because Italy is not in war with us. Okay, so what happens next? We had the evening. Axis power attack phase. Deploy Axis armies. So we try to deploy Axis armies here to front A 3 times. And yeah, we'll be resolving the distractions. Now, we have only 2 money. And we know that we need at least 1 for the next turn because there are cheats which actually allow you, for example, to progress with a bomb construction if you have $1 at the beginning of a turn. So I will need to prop some units. Unfortunately, I believe my Polish compatriots did their job. They repelled 7 of the German attacks. So for now, I will say, okay, guys, that's enough. So we'll be not propping the first attack. It crushes this Polish unit. We'll be not propping this Polish unit, so this is cavalry, so this is second attack, and will not be propping also the Denmark. The Denmark will flip. Denmark will flip to the Norway side, okay, and this is unfortunately destroyed. So that means that the Germany later than expected, because in early 1940 conquered Poland and conquered Denmark, and now we have Norway, which will be able to prop. And after Norway, we have Netherlands, we have Belgium, and we have still France. So probably some other. So these were 3 attacks, and we move further. Economic warfare phase. This is one of the few moments in the game, early game, when we have more convoys than U-boats. It's really fortunate. In my last game, my France has fallen almost immediately in the first turn. Yeah, here we were lucky, so we will risk. We'll go for 4, 3, and 2. As we have only 1 U-boat, and this is 1 in a really long time occasion, we will do it that way. So place convoys and roll for U-boats. So we roll for U-boats. We have 1. We roll for 2 die, which is 7, and 7 is for, of course, they hit in the most juicy spot. It has to be like this, but still we have 3 plus 2. This is 5, and I like it. And by the way, guys, I see that I cashed in the land lease, which means I move Roosevelt here. That was a bit risky. Because now during the election we need to roll 1 to 4 for him to be elected, otherwise it will be winky. So maybe it was not such a good decision. Let's see. Completely forgot about this rule. Completely forgot not to touch this as long as the election has not been held yet. Mistake happens, but we have a good strike of rolls in Poland, so that balances. So resolves U-boat convoy conflict. We don't have yet presidential bonus. We don't have strategic bombing. We don't have Churchill. We cannot use Stalin because it's used. We don't want to cash land lease. End of phase E, economic warfare phase. Now, phase F, United Nations attack phase. Do we want to attack something? Do we want to attack something? For the sake and purpose of showing you how the game plays, guys, let's use at least $1 or 1 aid to China to try to crush one of those 2 armies successfully. It comes back here. Do we want to do any more attacks? Not for now, I believe. No, we don't want. We go to the turning the tide. It's not time for this. Pacific naval phase, not time for this. We go to the industrial phase. What shall we build? I believe we have enough money to build the Rick's Place. Rick's Place will help us enormously when we will be getting here to the operation torch. Let me find it. It simply adds +1 die roll, but that's more than enough, yeah, to sometimes turn the tide, especially if Malta falls. Then you have a problem with actually those stronger enemies. Yeah. So this is exactly what we will do. Do we want to buy something more? You cannot do the A bomb over the hump for it's too much. Naval production, no. That's all. So we will bank those. We cancel military event. We do the naval reset. I'm afraid it's not for long. So many convoys in my hand. We do the naval reset. Yeah. Regarding the Burma Road, nothing happens, of course, because there are no enemies here. We don't quit India, and we return to step A. Pretty quick turn, believe me. The longer you play, the deeper you go. The turns will be longer because more fronts will be actually working on. Okay, so let's pause for a moment and we'll jump to the turn 3. Okay, guys, we move to the turn 3. The first thing we do is, of course, cheat draw phase. We don't draw the cheat, we simply play the last green one. And this one has attack D and 7 times on A. I told you, the France has to fall. 7 attacks, so in total this is like 17 attacks here. My goodness, that's a lot. So we place turn cheat on the calendar. We deploy units from calendar nobody. We play calendar events. We have US election and victory at sea. So victory at sea is move 1 U-boat from counter trade to U-boat. So I told you this was the last time for a long time when we have such a good situation with the convoys. And then we have a US election. And the US election, roll a die. If the roll is higher than the position of Roosevelt on the omnibus track, President Roosevelt loses re-election. Okay, let's see for the election. Let's hope it will be a good roll. No! He lost. Actually, he would lose anyhow, even in the case if we didn't spend the land lease. But that will have a huge repercussion for us because from the Pearl Harbor somewhere here up to the end of the game, he would be giving 2 instead of $1, which would translate to over $20 or billions of dollars of the cash we could potentially spend. It will be much harder, longer game. Whoa, let's see. And we still don't have this bonus until the Pearl Harbor starts. So now we go to play calendar events. Here, play cheat-based events. We don't have any cheat-based events. Evening Telegraph phase. We roll for the Evening Telegraph. It's turn 3. +5. This is 8. This is 8. So we again have Wavell and Xinjiang. Xinjiang is already toward Japan, and we go to Wavell. This is very strange. We don't have any rolls for Finland. Usually we roll much lower, and then that means that the Finland flips to the support of Germany, but in this case definitely they didn't want to follow the path. Okay, it's really disturbs me, this Winky here, but maybe we can prevent the Barbarossa for one more turn, which would not be so bad. Okay, Evening Telegraph done. Axis power attacks. We have 1 attack on D, so let's play it first. We move the highest strength army, this is the 3, to the D front, and that's the attack here. And then we have 7 attacks here. Now the question is, how much money do we have? We have 6, and we can maximum use 5. Let's see. Let's prop. First attack, let's prop the Norway. Yeah, they managed to keep them. Let's probe the Norway again. No, we are destroyed. So 2 attacks went. We have still 5 attacks. Now, do we prop the Netherlands? Sorry, Dutch guys, it's only 2 here. So we don't prop. Third attack destroys them. Do we prop Belgians? Let's prop them 1. This is 4th attack. They managed to do it. Let's prop them again. They are destroyed. So 5 attacks already. We have 5 attacks. And now we have 2 more attacks, and this is France. And we propped them, yeah, twice. We have 2 more money. Let's do it. We prop the France. They managed to keep the Germans. We prop them again. They again managed to keep them. It will not last indefinitely, of course, guys. But we were lucky. This is my best beginning of the global war game in history. I never had kept the Western Front for so long in such a good shape. Yeah, this is definitely the best beginning. But well, fortune favors bold. The Polish side really managed to keep Hitler out of the game. As you might probably understand and see, the regular game would be much more bloody for the UN side. We, at this moment in time, definitely would have already German armies here, but each game plays differently. I told you the replayability value of this title is fantastic. Okay, let's move on. Check Burma status. Nothing happens there. No panzers, no blitz. That's all. Economic warfare. Place convoys. And now it's not so easy. See, we have 2 of them, so I will maybe risk a bit. Let me see if they can sync with the 2 U-boats free. They cannot sync free, so I will risk 1 convoy here. Now we roll for the U-boats. 11. 11 is 2A, 2A. Both of them goes to 2A and sync whatever is there, and nothing is there. My goodness, nothing is there. And we need those money because we'll have this poor guy. So we have 3, 2, and 2. So this is 7. So we jump to 8. And remember, you can have more than 12 money if you earn more. Sorry, it's a waste. It's simply a waste. Okie doke. So we did economic haul. We don't earn yet presidential bonus, no bombing, no Churchill, Stalin. Stalin actually is now again up and running. Do I want to use him on Xinjiang? Or maybe one of those arms. Okay, let's crush the Xinjiang. We again move back to the right order. Do we cash land and lease now? I believe we should. We should start cashing land and lease. This is 8.10. We are anyhow have win key, so nothing will go out of this. What I would like to do, unfortunately, some of them are only available later on. So aid to Russia is only after Pearl Harbor. Liberty ships. Liberty ships I can actually do now. Okay. Okay, let me do the Liberty ships. What does it mean if I do the Liberty ships? Place 2 US convoy units in the East Coast box. They are now available for you to build for $2 each, and you can build 1 maximum per turn. So let me put those 2. I believe we'll spend some money for that. We really will be short on money long term in this game. Okay, so this would be cashing land lease, and we move to the next phase, United Nations attack phase. Do we want to attack somewhere? Xinjiang once, oh no, maybe not Xinjiang, the army here next to it. We use one aid to China, and this time we failed. I will not repeat it. There will be weaker armies later on, which are easier to defeat. I don't think we'll do any other attacks now. Turning Tide and Pacific Naval is not now. Industrial phase. What we'll build? We'll build one convoy. We want more of them. Over the hump, it's tempting, but I need money, for example, to defeat armies later on. I would go with what we have now here. Partisans are eventually something we can use. No, let's say those six. Turn and phase. Allied banking. So we leave those six. Cancel military event. Naval reset. We move all of them here. Yes, we have some few convoys, but remember, if France falls, that turns into you, but it's 3-3 then. And that end of a turn 3. I believe, guys, I will pause here this first material. I don't want this to be too long. We went through the first 3 turns. I really thought we'll have Operation Barbarossa already on the turn 4. Most probably it will be on the turn 5 because, yeah, the Germans will crush it. So let's do it that way. We pause here. We already covered basic game rules, and also we went through the example of play of the first 3 turns. In the next material, I will do another 3 turns. I believe in turn 4, most probably front A will fall, and then we will have Barbarossa in 5th, and we'll have also the Pearl Harbor in the 6th. So that will show you the beginning of the game, how it develops. As a summary, a couple of things which I would like to call out. A very brave, valiant defense by Polish troops here in the turn 1. Also, a very unfortunate election result in US. So guys, we are starting well this game, but will we finish it well in long term? It's actually economy who crushed the Axis. I don't know. It will be very, very interesting game. I'm really glad that it turned that way. That's all for today. If you like this video, kindly please give thumbs up. If you'd like to see more content like this, do not hesitate, and definitely subscribe. Any comments, any questions, any opinions, maybe pointing also some errors which I made, welcome. Thank you for today, and stay tuned, there will be more.